Hey guys, Owen from Touratech USA here, and today we're doing another install video for the R1300GS. Today we're going to be installing the Zega top case rack on the rear of the motorcycle. These bikes are coming in a bunch of different configurations. Depending on what you've got on your bike currently, things may be a little bit different at the different steps. As always, if you get confused, please feel free to call one of our adventure experts or just watch the video. I'll have helpful tips for which fasteners go through which parts of the bike whenever we get to that point. So with that being said, let's dig in. Now before we get started on the install, it's always helpful to lay out your tools and hardware. For this job, we're going to be using a 13mm wrench, a little bit of Loctite, a 6mm hex and the driver, as well as a T40 Torx and its driver. You'll notice that I've also got the instructions pulled up on my phone here. I got these by going to the product page at touratech-usa.com. In terms of hardware, you'll find that this is all that's included with the top case rack. You will use this hardware if you're installing the top case rack alone with no pannier racks whatsoever. If you're installing the top case rack with Touratech pannier racks, you'll need to use this hardware back here, which is included with the pannier racks. Now, in order to replace our top case rack, the first step is obviously just to pull off this Vario top case rack that we have on the bike from the factory. If you are working on a motorcycle that still has the OEM Vario pannier racks on the side, you can refer to our installation video for this piece in order to learn how to take those pieces off. That video will be linked in the description down below. Since this is our Touratech pannier rack and we've already got it installed, we need to remove this before we can take the factory plastic tail rack off. So with that, let's get started with this bolt right here, which requires our 13mm wrench. After that, we can move on to the Allen bolt back here, which is held in place with a 6mm Allen. With these two removed, we're ready to go to the other side and remove those as well. I like to have something underneath just to support this rack so you're not torquing this fastener at all. So let's get the other side off and go from there. Now that we've got the fasteners removed from this side of the bike as well, you'll notice that I've placed some cardboard boxes under the rear. This is just to support the pannier rack since it's loosely resting off of this front attachment point here, and our OEM Vario top case rack is getting pretty loose. The only thing holding this in place are these two T40 fasteners, one here and one on the other side. So let's take our T40 wrench and get these off. Now with those final fasteners removed, we're ready to pull the Vario tail rack off of the back of the motorcycle. Helps to spread it apart a little bit and just shimmy it back like that. Now with all 6 fasteners removed, 3 on each side, we're ready to take our Zega top case rack and shimmy it up into place. This can be a little tricky, so it might be helpful to have a friend help you out. I like to start on one side, hook it in, and then pull onto the mounting holes. Once you've got it in place, it's as simple as grabbing your hardware. Now that we've got the top case rack vaguely in place, we're ready to start with this front bolt. Since we're installing this in conjunction with the Touratech pannier racks, we're going to be using this M8 by 55 hex head bolt. So we'll start with this one so that we can kind of hinge the rest of the top case rack into place. And I like to use a little bit of Loctite as well. You don't need a lot, just a little dab right towards the end of the fastener, and we're ready to get it into place. Now remember, This bolt has a washer at the head and is going through the pannier rack, then the top case rack, and then into the rear subframe. All right, now that we've got this loosely attached, we're ready to go to the other side and put this bolt in over there as well. Now that we've got these two front connections in, we've got a nice wiggle, plenty of room to move this around. We're ready to get these rearmost attachment points installed. Again, we're going to be using the hardware that came with the pannier racks. So this is an M8x65 Allen head, and same story here. We're taking a small amount of Loctite, placing it on the fastener just to keep it in that hole nice and secure. Dropping our washer onto this bolt. I like to have the shiny side facing out, and then threading it through the pannier rack, then through the top case rack and into the subframe. With this one in place as well, we're ready to repeat the process on the other side. With all four of our mounting positions in place, we're ready to go through and do a final tight. So now our top case rack and our pannier racks are fully secured. At this point, you have the option of reinserting these bolts just to cover those holes in the factory subframe. All right, now that we've got the top case rack installed, the panniers rack on with it, everything is nice and tight, you can move this bike around with this rack. This is perfect for the addition of this 38-liter Zega Evo top case. Get this on here, just like that. Feel free to check out this product, or anything else we make for the R1300GS at touratech-usa.com.